In this video, we are going to create a complete blog and we will only use the Gutenberg block editor. So let me first show you what exactly we are going to create. So this is the website that we are going to build. Here we have a logo on the top left corner and we have a navigation on the right. And if we mouse over here on the navigation, you can see we have a mega menu as well. And below this we have a post slider. So this one is draggable so that it will work perfectly fine on your desktop as well as on your mobile devices. And below that we have a featured post section. And after this we have all the latest posts from the blog. And on the right hand side we have our social media icons. And below this we have a search box. And after this we have some recent posts. And at the end we have an advertising image as well. And at the bottom we have our newsletter subscription box. And after this we have our website footer. And if we click on any of these categories, this is how our category page will look like. And if we click on any of the blog post, so this is how our single page blog post template looks like. So we have a big giant feature image and we have a title and meta information here. And we have a social sharing button here, and on the right hand side we have the text for the blog. And at the very bottom we have the previous and next post navigation, and after this we have the bio for the writer. And below this we have related posts as well. And if we go on any inner pages like about us, here we have designed a custom template for that as well. We have a big bold title and we have a background image behind this. And if we go on the contact page, here we have the same template for page header, and along with that we have a contact form which is using contact form 7 in this case, but we have styled it in a very unique way by using one of the blocks from the Plus library. So if that sounds interesting and you also want to create a blog like this, then hop in and I'll show you everything step by step. My name is Ankit Sharma from the team Myth, and if you want to deep dive in the world of Gutenberg, then make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so that you can get notified about our 2 videos that we publish every week. With that said, let's dive in our WordPress backend and start building our custom blog design. So here we are in our WordPress backend, and let's go ahead and install our theme as well as the required plugins. So first we go to Appearance and then go to Themes. And here we are going to search for Nexter theme. So let's go ahead and install this. And now we will activate this theme. And now we got some notifications here. So let me just close them from here. So we are going to do all the required steps and we will install all the required plugins. So let's go ahead and close this message from here. And now we go to plugins and then click on add new. And let's first search for Nexter. So this is the Nexter extension plugin that we need to install. So let's go ahead and install now. And along with that, we also need the Plus add-ons for Gutenberg block editor. So we need to install this plugin as well. So let's install this one. And then we will activate both of them later on. Let's activate this one as well. And let's activate the Nexter extension. And now after installing this Nexter extension, we got a new option here that is Nexter Builder. And with this, we will be able to create our custom header and footer, which we are going to cover in a few minutes. Along with that, after adding the Plus add-ons for block editor, we got a new entry here in the backend that is Plus settings. But in order to build this complete blog, we also need the premium add-ons from this plugin. And in order to get the pro version, we need to visit theplusblocks.com. Here you can go to the pricing of this add-on. And here you can choose the plan that suits best for you. And if you are a freelancer or an agency, then it's highly recommended you choose the agency plan where you will get the Plus add-ons for Gutenberg, the Nexter WP theme with the Pro extensions, and the Plus add-ons for Elementor. So this one got all the best things in one single bundle. And once you do the purchase from here, you need to visit your Posimit store account, and here under download section you will be able to see the plus add-ons for blog editor, and on the very top you will get the latest version to download. But if in case you want to try something from the previous version, you can also do that by choosing these previous versions of this plugin. But right now we will go with the latest one. So let's click on download, and we will come back in our plugin section, and this time we are going to click on add new and then click on upload plugin. And here we are going to choose the zip file that we have just downloaded, and here is the zip file. So let's select that, and now we will click on install now and then click on activate plugin. So now we have the free as well as the pro version of plus add-ons for blog editor. And the next step is to enter the license key so that we can start using the pro add-ons. So let's click on this, and it will take you directly to the plus settings and under activation tab. And here is the point where you can add your activation key, which you can easily get from your Posimit store account. You just need to click on dashboard, and here you will find the license key for the plus add-ons for blog editor. Let's copy this from here and let's paste it here and then click on activate. So now we are ready with our theme as well as our plugin. Now if you open the site in the front end, this is how it looks, and that looks pretty flat. So don't worry, we are going to redesign all of this. So first let's go ahead and create some pages that we will be needing in this site. So we go to pages, and here we already have the privacy policy and a sample page. So maybe we can rename this to about us, and we will give it a slug about. Let's update this. So let's go ahead and create a new one. Let's click on add new. Let's call it home and then publish this page. And now let's create another one and let's call it contact us. Let's publish this page as well. And let's go back to our dashboard, and under posts we go to categories, and here we have a single uncategorized category. So first let's rename this to ideas, and this could be the slug. Let's update the category. So let's go ahead and create some more sample categories that we can use in our blog. So now we have 3 categories here, and we are going to add some sample post in all of the 3 categories. So right now we only have this sample hello world post. So we are going to create some sample post here. So we have just added some sample posts here, and we are going to use them as a reference to create our blog archive page as well as our single blog post page. Now once that is done, we now need to go to settings and then click on reading. And here we will select the static page for our home page. So we will select the home, the page that we have just created, as our home page, and then click on save changes. Once that is done, we can now go to permanent links, and here we will choose the post name as the structure for our URL. And after this, just click on save changes. And now we will go in the WordPress theme customizer in order to specify the structure of our website. So we go to appearance and then click on customize. Let's open this in a new tab. So here we will first go to site identity, and here we got an option to upload our logo. Let's select the file here, and here we can upload file from our computer, or we can select any image from the media library. We don't have any image right now, so let's go ahead and upload one. So we come back here in our project folder, and let's select all the images that we are going to need in this project. So let's open this. So right now we're just going to select this image as our logo with the black text. So let's select this one, skip cropping. So this will be the default logo for this site, but we are going to change that as well while creating our header using the black background. So we will cover that in a few minutes. So we come back here, and here we go to general. And here we have an option for container, and here we can define the width of various sections of our website. For example, for header, right now it's defined as blog editor, but we can change this to full width. And here we can define a padding from left or right, but we will leave it to 0 because we don't want any padding from the left and right. We will define that while we are adding some Gutenberg blocks in our custom header. And same for the footer, we will choose full width and then make it 0 padding from left and right. And same for our body as well. And same for our page container. And we'll do the same for single post and for the archive page as well. And let's close this from here. And now with that, we are done with the basic setup. We have installed our theme and plugins. And now we can move ahead to the next step, that is creating our custom header and footer. Alright, so now we can start designing our header and footer. And if we take a look at our reference site, this is the kind of style we are looking for our header. This will be a sticky header. And on this news section, we also have a mega menu. So we are going to create all that with our custom header. And if we scroll down at the very bottom, we have a very simple footer here. So we just have a logo, some social media icons, and a simple navigation links. And if we take a look at the front end of our current website, this is how our current header and footer looks like, which is default from the theme itself. And that will be replaced by the one which we will create using our Nexter builder. So let's go to Nexter builder. And here we need to click on add new. And let's call this main header. And if we click on this icon here we need to select sections and then click on header. And now after that, we need to choose the header type. So we are going to select normal plus sticky. After this, if you want to create a transparent header, you can select this option. And after that, we have include in. So here we can add condition where we want to show this header. So if we click here, we have an option for showing on entire site. So we will click on that. And now we can close this. And at this blank area, we can start adding our Gutenberg blocks to create our custom header. So let's start by adding a row. So we will use the TP row block and we will choose a 2-column layout. And we will make this as a wide width. And let's reduce the width of left column here. And on this first column, we will add a logo. So let's click here and search for TP site logo. So this is the block. Let's click on this. And now on the right hand side, we can upload an image. So let's click on this wrench icon here. And this is the logo that we are going to use. Let's select this. And image size, we will choose full width. And after that, maybe we can choose 150 as size. But as we have selected white image as our logo, so we need to select this entire row and then go to style. And in the background, we need to add a dark shade, something like this. And if we come back here in the layout, in the vertical position, we will select middle so that every element will be aligned in the vertical middle area. And now after adding this logo on the left hand side, on the right hand side, we will now search for TP navigation menu. Let's select that. And here we have an option to select menu type. If we want to select a WordPress menu, which is inbuilt in the WordPress backend, or we can create our manual menu. So we are going to create a manual menu because we need to add a mega menu as well. So let's select that. And after that, we have menu layout. So we can choose horizontal, vertical or vertical toggle. So we need to select horizontal in this case. And after that, we have an option to add navigation menu items. So first we are going to add level 0, that is the root level menu items. So let's click on this and we can call it ideas. And let's link this to our idea category. So we will type in idea here. And this is the category URL. Let's select this. And let's duplicate this one. And now we have 3 similar items here, but we cannot see anything right now because we need to change the color of the text. So first let's go to style. And here for the main menu, we will select text color. And that will be white. And if we go in the typography, maybe we can increase the font size a bit. So 20 pixel will be good enough. And let's make everything uppercase. And if we go back in the layout, in the alignment, we can align this navigation to the right hand side. And now, instead of ideas, for the second item, we can add news. And we need to update the link here. So again, we will search for our news category like this. And for the third one, we will type in technology and let's update the link again. Now after this, let's add another item. Maybe we can add about us. Let's edit the link and link this to about us page. And after this, let's duplicate one more time, and this time we will call it contact us and link this to our contact page. Alright, I think we can reduce the size of the font a bit. So let's go to style, and in the typography, maybe we can make this to 17 pixel. And font weight, maybe we can choose 600. So this one looks good. So let's publish this and see how it looks in the front end. So if we refresh here, so now we have a new header. And now after adding this parent or this root level navigation items, we can now go ahead and create our mega menu. And we want to add a mega menu below this news menu item. So we go here in the news root level menu item, and then we will duplicate this. And now we will change the level from 0 to level 1, so that this will act as sub menu of our level 0 menu item. Let's rename this to news block. And now we have an option here, sub menu type. Here we can choose if it is going to be a link or a mega menu. So in this case, we will select mega menu, and then we have an option to select a reusable block, which we can use as our mega menu block. So right now we don't have any reusable block, so let's go ahead and create one. And then we will continue from here. So let's update this here, and we go back in our WordPress backend. And under plus settings, we will go to reusable blocks. And here is the section where we can create new reusable blocks. So let's click on add new. Let's call it news mega menu. Here we will start adding a row. We will choose a single column layout and make it full width. And inside this, we will add a TP post listing block. And here we will keep all the things as it is and just select the style that we want to show. So we can select any style from here. So maybe if we choose this style, and if we go down, we can add the content alignment to left. And in the query, we will leave as it is because we can show all the posts inside this. And in the column manager, maybe we can select 4 columns. And above this, we have display post. So here as well, we will select only 4 posts. And in the extra option, maybe we can limit the characters of this text by words. So here we will only choose 4 words right now. And we are going to reduce the font size of this text. So for that, we need to go in the style. And for the post title typography, here we will change the text to 13 pixel would be good enough, so that everything will be in one single line. And if we come back here in layout and in the extra option, here we will not show this metadata. We will keep it as minimal as possible. So let's update this reusable block here. And if we come back here in our main header, let's update this once and let's refresh this so that we can load our reusable block here. Alright, so let's click on this navigation menu, and here in the news block, For the mega menu, we will choose the reusable block, that is news mega menu that we have just created. Once we select that, here we have mega menu type. In this, we are going to select full width and we will leave rest of the details as it is. And let's update this here. And let's refresh the front end. So now we have our header with 2-column layout. We have the logo on the left and we have the navigation on the right. And if we mouse over on the news section here, we can see our mega menu as well. So we can go ahead and play around with the style of this post listing block and create any kind of mega menu here. Now if we go ahead and click on any of this link here, so this is just the normal archive page which is from the theme itself, but here we can see that our header is also sticky. So we are going to recreate this archive page in the later section of this video. So with that, our header is done. We can now go ahead and create our custom footer. So in order to create our custom footer, we again need to go back in our Nexter builder. And here we can see our main header that we have just created. And let's go ahead and create a new one. So we click on add new and let's call it main footer. And again, we click on this option here and then choose section. And this time we are going to select footer and we will select normal footer. And again, in the display rule, we will show this in entire website. Let's close this. And now we can go ahead and add any Gutenberg element here in this area to create our custom footer. So again, let's start by adding a row block. And we will keep it single column layout. Let's make it full width. And first we go to style and add a background color so that we can have the same shade as we have in our header. Now after this, we go to advanced. Here we will add some padding from the top and bottom. So we will add 50 from the top and 50 from the bottom. And we will keep 0 margin. And here let's start by adding our logo image again. Let's upload the image again. And we will keep it full width. Image size, we will leave it as it is. And in the alignment, make it center. Alright, so now after this, we are going to add some social media icons. So we will click on insert after, and then we will search for TP social icon. And once we add this block, here on the right hand side, we can see there's various styles. So we can choose any style as we like. So depending upon your website theme, you can choose any style here. So let's say we go with this one. And here, if we scroll down, we can select any social media network and then give our profile link here. So let's say for Facebook, we will enter our page URL. And we can also change the background color as well as the icon color. So you can play around with that as well. So we will keep it white so that we can have the brand colors. And in the same way, you can add as many social media networks you want. Let's say we want to add Instagram as well. So let's click on add network. And if we click here, we can choose Instagram from the list. And let's add the Instagram profile URL. And let's make the background a little bit different. So this is how it's going to look. And after this, we are going to add some links to various pages of our website. So now we will search for a new block, and that is TP stylish list. Let's click here. And using this, we will be able to create list items. So let's close everything and let's start with the first one. So the content will be simple text, home. URL, you can give any dummy URL. And in the live site, you might want to add the home page URL. For the site icon, we will choose none because we don't want any icon here. If you want, you can add a hint or tooltip as well. So you can do that if you want to show that. And in the same way, we will add few more items here. but we don't want a vertical list, we want a horizontal list. So for that we need to go to extra options here, and this is the layout type option. And in the layout type option here we have vertical as well as horizontal. Let's click horizontal here, and now we can go ahead and edit the text and link in these menu items. And then let's go to style and let's align everything in the middle, and let's reduce this horizontal space in between them. So maybe we can keep it something like this. And now we can go ahead and add text and URL for various pages. And after adding our menu link, we come back here in style, and for the content we will go ahead and change the color maybe to a light gray shade, something like this, and then click on publish. And if we open this in our front end, so now we have our custom header and we have our custom footer. Now let's go ahead and create our category archive pages, which will look something like this. On the very top we have the first post or the latest post in this category, so we will show that in this highlighted way. And after that we will have rest of the post listed down below. And on the right hand side we have our social media icons, and then below this we will have search, and then we will have the recent posts. And this can be from the same category or from the different one depending upon how you want to create this. And below this we will have a space for advertisement. So let's go ahead and build this archive page template. And in order to do that, again we will go back in our Nexter builder, and now we will click on add new, and let's name it main archive page. And if we open the settings here, we are now going to select pages, and then we will select archives. And for the condition where we want to show this archive page template, we will choose all post categories. So this will be visible on post categories, and here we can choose all. So this template will be visible on all the post categories. And after this we can assign a preview how we want to see this working in the backend. So we can leave it as it is, and once that is done, let's close it. And now we can save draft here, and once again we will start by adding a row. So we will choose TP row block, and this time we are going to choose 2-column layout, and let's make it full width, and let's reduce the width of this right hand side column. If we take a look at this layout setting, here is the column width. If you want to assign a particular value here for the width, we can do that. So let's say we want to make it 80%. And now on the left hand side, let's start by adding our TP post listing, and it will fetch all the blog posts. And if we come back here in the layout section for content listing, instead of normal page, this time we will select archive page, because we are creating this template for the category archive pages. And again we will select post type as posts, and maybe we can select a different template or style here. So we will choose this one, and you can change the minimum height of this, so it will increase or decrease the size of this image. And after that we have query. Here we will leave it as it is because we want to fetch the post from the current category itself. And display post, we will keep it 1. So this one will act as a featured latest post. And for that we need to make sure that order by date and order and descending must be selected. After that we have column manager. So we will choose single column, and in the extra options, here we can define the tag of this title. Here we can define the limit. So for this one we will leave it as it is because we have pretty large space here, so we can leave it as it is. And if we want, we can show the excerpt as well, but we will hide this in this case. Here we have the post categories, so let's make them visible. So as we are using a dark image, we need to edit this background here. After this we have post meta, so that's what we are showing here. And once that is done, let's move on to the next step, that is style. And here for the feature image, we will add image hover effect. So for the normal, we will add a gradient, something like this. So let's say we add this dark shade here, and we will reduce the opacity a bit. And for this one, we will completely remove this color. And now for the angle, we will add 180. And if we go on the top for the post title, we will choose color as white. So now you see it's very visible here. And for the hover, maybe we can choose some orange shade color, something like this. And for the post meta, we can change the color to something dark gray, something like this. And for the category list, we will choose the color as some light shade here. And we can add a border color with this white or any color as we like. So let's keep it in a dull shade. So now it's looking pretty clear here. And if we come back here in the layout, we can increase the height of this post here. So this will occupy a bit more screen. And now below this, let's add another TP post listing block. And this time we are going to choose this style. And for the listing type, we will again choose archive page. And for the column manager, we will choose one column. And for the query, we will show display post as maybe 4. And in the extra option, we can again enable or disable whatever data we want to show or hide here. But let's move on to the next tab, that is style. And here let's reduce the font size a bit. So maybe 18 pixel would be good enough. And again, you can do the styling for post meta and the content background. So we will leave it here and let's publish this. And now on the right hand side, let's first add some social media icons. So we will search for TP social icons. So this is the block we are going to use. Let's add it. And once again, we will choose some desired style here. And again, we can add whatever network we want to add here. And in the extra option, we will align them to left. And if we go in style here, we can reduce the icon size a bit so that they can be in one single row. So depending upon how many icons you want to show here, you can increase or decrease the size of these icons. So maybe if we add one more Instagram, and if we now go back in style, and here we can reduce the gap between these icons. So maybe we can add 5 pixel from the right and 5 pixel from the left. So this is how it's going to look. After this, we are going to add heading. So we will use the TP heading block and we will choose this third style. And for the main heading, we will type in recent news. And for the subtitle, maybe we can add what's happening around. And for the layout, we will choose left aligned. And again, we have an option to limit the title and subtitle text, but we don't need that. We need to make sure that we enter whatever fits best. And now we can move on to style tab. And here we have the separator color. So we can play around with this as well. So maybe something like this. And for the typography, we will choose a font size, maybe 21 pixel. And for the subtitle, we will choose tag. So in this case, we will make it paragraph. And for the typography, we will choose 17 or maybe 16 pixel. And maybe we can add a 10 pixel top margin, something like this. And for this main heading, we can actually add a dark color, something like this. And now we will again add this TP post listing, or maybe we can delete this from here and just copy everything that we done here. So let's copy this and let's paste it here. Let's update this and see how it looks in the front end. So this is the default look of any archive page or the category listing page. So let's refresh it now. So the left hand side looks pretty good, and we can actually reduce this width so that we can make this recent news section a little bit more readable. So we come back here, and for this column we will reduce the width something like this, and let's update this in the front end. And now it looks much better. And above this recent news, we forgot to add the search bar. So here, if we click on this title, we will insert before, and here we will search for TP search bar. Let's add this, and let's update this here, and let's refresh the front end. So this is how the search box will look. We can play around with styling. So we can click on style, and here for the background option, we can choose a background color for this complete box. So maybe a light shade, and we have a border radius as well. So maybe we can add 15 pixel all around. And if we go in the advanced section, we can add a padding. So maybe 5 pixel would be good enough. And now we can click on update and see how it looks in the front end. So this is how the entire archive page will look like. So now we have the archive page template ready, but right now all of the posts are actually listed on all the categories. So if we come back here in the WordPress backend and check our posts, they are all added in all the categories. So let's change the categories here so that we can clearly see how it's looking in the front end. Now this one looks much better. We have one post added in only one category. So if we go back in our front end, let's refresh it again. So now we have these two posts in our news category, and just for adding one more, if we change this to news as well, and let's update this and refresh it once again. So now we have 3 posts in this category. And now for this section, if we go in style, and for the typography of post title, maybe we can choose 16 pixel. And if we come back here, in the extra option, maybe we can hide the complete metadata so that we can have a little bit of minimal look. And for the same, we can limit the number of characters by word. So maybe we can choose 4 so that most of the things will be in 1 or 2 lines. So let's update this here. And after this, we need to add some advertisement image. So we will choose TP image block. And here we just need to upload our advertisement banner, this one. Let's select it and paste it here. And now we can add a URL here for our advertising campaign. And for the max width, we can leave it as it is, or we can give the exact size of this image. Let's update this. Alright, so this is how it looks in the front end. So this is how all the category pages of our posts will look like. And once that is done, let's move on to the next part. So now let's go ahead and create the template for our single post. So if we click on this post here, this is the template that we have created. So we have a feature image at the background, we have the title, and here is the text on the right, and we have social sharing icons on the left. At the bottom, we have previous post in this category. And at the end, we also have the author bio. And below this, we have the related post from the same category. Now, if we check the front end of our website, this is how our current blog post template looks like. And that's what we are going to update. So once again, we will come back here in our Nexter builder, and let's add a new one, and let's call it single post. And again, for the Nexter builder options, here we will select pages, and then we will select singular, and in the condition rules we will select all posts, and for the preview settings we will choose any post from here. So we will leave it as it is, and let's save the draft here. And now we will start by adding a row layout. So we will choose the TP row block and we will start with single column layout and we will make it full width. And now if we go in the style, here we have the background option. So we will select image and here we will choose the dynamic tag option here. And for the dynamic URL, we will choose post feature image. So right now it's loading the feature image of the post that we have selected for the preview, and image size will be full. And here we can turn on advanced settings and add a fallback image as well. So we will leave it as it is. Alright, so now come back here in the layout, and for the height we will make it minimum height and choose 500 pixel. And now let's add a heading. So we will choose the TP heading block and we will choose the style number 2. And after this, for the main title, we will choose dynamic tag again and we will select post title. So now you see that it's fetching the title of this post which we have selected for the preview. After this, for the subtitle, let's remove this text. And for this one, using dynamic tag, we are going to use author name. And if we turn the advanced settings on, here we can add a prefix text. So we are going to use by. So this will be like written by the writer name. And now we can go in the layout section and align everything to left. And if we select the row again, and here is the column position, we can select that to bottom. So this will be aligned at the bottom left corner. And now if we select this title again, we can go to style and here first make the text as white, and maybe we can increase the font size a bit. And for the subtitle, let's reduce the font size. First, let's make it a little bit dark color. And for the typography, we will choose 15 pixel and font weight will be 100. So this will look a bit small. Alright, so let's save the draft again. And we will come back to the row again. And if we go in the advanced settings, here we will add a margin for bottom. So we will choose 50 pixel. And now after this, we are going to add another row layout. So here we will start typing TP row. We'll choose the row block and we are going to choose 2 column layout, and let's make it full width, and let's make this one as 20%. So we will assign the column width 20 from here. And now on the right hand side, we will first add our post content. So here, let's start searching for TP post content block. And if we click here, this is the default text from the post. But if we take a look on the right hand side, this is for single page. That's what we want. But below this, we have an option for excerpt or main content. So instead of post excerpt, we will choose post content. So this is how it will fetch the complete content for the post. We will align this on left. And now we can go to style and do all the stylings if we want. So let's say we want a padding of 10 pixel from all around. And maybe we can change the color of the text, something like this. And now on the left hand side, we are going to add a social shading icons. So first we are going to add heading. And again, we will choose the style number 2. For the main text, we will just type in share this post. And if we go in typography, let's reduce the font size a bit. And in the layout, we will align this to left. And below this, we are going to search for TP social share. So let's click here. And now we have the social sharing icons. Again, on the right hand side, we have different styles. So we can choose horizontal, vertical, or toggle. So this is how it looks. So if you want the minimal look, you can use this one or maybe this one. So right now we will choose vertical so that we can see all the options we have. And for this one, we also have various styles, so we can choose from that. And again, we can align this in center or left. And for each of the network added here, we can edit the settings. So for the first one, we have added Facebook. So maybe we want to change the Facebook title, we can do that. And after this, we can add the count number for how many shares we want to show by default. And after this, we can add a custom URL that will be shared once we click on this Facebook share icon. But we are going to leave it as it is because we want that to work for this current page. And after this, we have the normal styling option for this particular button. And same for all the other social sharing networks that you will add here. After selecting this, we can go to style. And here we can change the typography, we can change the title spacing, and we can change the style for the counter and all the things that we see here. And now if we go back here in Facebook, we can go ahead and change the background to a darker shade, something like this. And maybe we can copy this code and we can repeat the same for rest of the others. And now after our post content, we can add a separator, something like this. And maybe we can choose the color. So maybe we can choose the dark color here. And after this, we are again going to add the social sharing icons. So let's go ahead and copy these icons from here. And now we can go ahead and paste here, but instead of vertical, this time we will choose horizontal one. And then we will repeat this separator again and move it below our icons. And after this, we are again going to search for TP post navigation. So once we add that, we have the navigation available for next and previous post. We can choose various styles. If you just want to show arrows, something like this, or maybe we want to show something like this. So you can play around with all the options available and see which one works best for you. So I'm going to leave it with style 1. And after this, we are going to add author bio. So here is the TP post author. So this is how it's going to look. So whatever information you will add in the WordPress backend about the author, that will be visible here. So in order to show post author something like this, you need to make sure that you have the author bio filled up correctly. And let's save the draft again. And after this, we are going to add another heading. And this time we will choose this classic style. And for the main heading, we will type in editor's choice. And for the subheading, we will leave it blank. And let's go to style and change the color to the dark shade. After this, let's go ahead and add another block. So we will be adding TP post listing block here. And this time, instead of normal page, we are going to select single page related post. So this one automatically going to fetch the related post or the post which are in the same category of the current post. So this is how it's going to look. We can again play around with the various styles available. So this time we are going to choose this one. And now we can go ahead and do the styling. If we go in the style tab, here for the typography, we can reduce it to 18 pixel. And as we cannot see anything right now, we can change the color to a lighter gray shade. And for the post meta, same thing. Alright, so now we come back here on the very top, and for this left hand side column, we will select the column from the breadcrumbs here. And if we go on the right hand side for the settings, here under extra options, we have sticky column. Let's select this. And for the top spacing, we can select maybe 50 pixel. And for the bottom, again, we can select 50. We will change that later on if that requires in the front end. And where we want to keep this sidebar as sticky, so we will definitely want that on desktop, but let's hide it on tablet and mobile. So let's publish this. So this was our old design of blog post. Let's refresh this page now. So this is how it looks in the front end. So here on the left, we have the social sharing icons. On the right, we have the post content. And you can see that this column is also sticky. And after that, we have sharing option here as well. And below this, we have previous and next post option. And after that, we have the writer's bio as well. And in the end, we have the editor's choice section where we can show some related posts. So now we can create any kind of look and design for our single blog posts. And if we come back here in our post content editor, here you can see that we have a sample content here. And as we are using Gutenberg block, you can go ahead and create your content using any kind of Gutenberg block. So for example, if we want to add back quotes, if we want to add TP block code, so we can select that, and this is how it's going to look. We can choose the different style, and this is going to make it very similar as we are using in the post preview. And again, if we go in advanced and spacing, we can add a top and bottom margin. Let's update this. With that, if you want to write blog posts that can attract traffic, you can use any Gutenberg block in the Plus library to create your blog content more attractive. Now let's say you have added all the content and you have added all the required headings and all the required paragraphs. And now in order to provide a better readability to your readers, it's highly recommended that you add a table of content inside your blog posts. So for that, we can come back here in this editor, and wherever you want to add your table of content, all you have to do is just search for TP table of contents. Let's select that, and this will generate the complete table of content. And in order to edit this, we can come back here on the right hand side, and here it says shows title. You can hide that, or maybe you can edit the content here. And for the content, you can decide which heading tags you want to show here. So let's say we don't want to include H1, so we'll remove that. And we also don't want to include H4, 5 and 6. So the only headings we want to include is H2 and H3. And that's what we see here. All these headings are actually H2. And from the layout, you can choose the list type. So this one is the normal listing. So here you see these bullet points. And second one is the ordered list. So now you see these numbers here. So let's go with this one. And here we can now choose the different style. So here you can see it's updating the style here. So you can play around with this and choose whichever suits best for your design. And again, we can go back to style and change the styling based on our website theme. So for normal colors, maybe we can choose this. So maybe we can add so for the box background, maybe we can add a background color, something like this. Maybe we can add some border, and border width will be 1 pixel. Let's choose a darker shade, and for the border radius, we will add 15 pixel. And here for the table title, we can add some padding. So maybe we can add 20 from the top and 0 from the right and 10 from the bottom and 20 from the left. After this, we have heading area. So here we can define the space from the left. So this is how it's going to look. And maybe we can add some padding as well. So this is how it works. And you can also increase this bottom space. So you can play around with this to create your desired style. And if we update this and refresh our front end, and now we can see we have a table of content here, and using this we can jump around on various headings. So now we go ahead and start creating our home page. So for that, we will come back here in our WordPress backend and we go to pages and then create a new page. So we will click on add new and let's call it home page and let's save the draft. So let's start by adding a row and we will use a single column layout and let's make this full width. And now before adding any element, we will go to style and then we will add a gray shade here and we go to advanced and under padding we will add 50 pixel from the top and 50 pixel from the bottom. And now here first we will start adding TP post listing. And for this one, we'll keep the post listing type as normal page and we will keep this on posts. We will choose the style number 4 for this layout. And if we scroll down here under layout, instead of grid, we are going to choose carousel so that we can show a carousel of our latest posts. And we can adjust the height of this. We can go ahead and adjust. Now we can adjust the height of this block. So maybe we can increase this a little bit. And if we move down here in the query, here we are not going to use any filter because we want to show all the latest posts, but we will be limiting the number of posts as much as you want in your slider. After this, we have extra options and here we will hide the meta details. We will only keep the title and here we have the limit. So we will keep this by word. We will keep this at 5 so that every title will be in mostly one single line. And now we can go to style and first we are going to change the color of this title to white. And for the typography, maybe we can increase the font size a bit. So maybe 30 pixel would be good enough. And after this, we have feature image option. So for this, we are going to use this gradient option. And now we can change the color here. So for this one, we are going to keep it black. And maybe we can reduce the opacity a bit. And for the second color, we will completely remove this from here. So now we have a gradient of dark to a transparent color. And for the angle, we will choose 180 degree. And if we scroll down a little bit more, here we have the carousel options. And here we will keep the number of columns to 3. And now we see we have all the titles in 2 lines. Maybe we can reduce the font size to 22 pixel. And if we come back here in the carousel options, here we can increase or decrease the speed of this carousel. So maybe we can keep it 3500. So this is going to scroll a bit slow, which looks much better. And now we have the dot style option. So for this one, we are going to select this. And for the space above, we are going to increase a gap. So this one looks much better. Alright, so now let's go ahead and publish this page and open this in a new tab. So this is how it looks in the front end. So here we can decrease this gap from the bottom because we have already added a space above these dots here. So we come back here in our design and if we select the main row, here in advanced, we can reduce this to 20 pixel. Let's refresh the page and now this one looks much better. And above this slider, let's go ahead and add some headings. So we will click on insert before and here we will add heading. So we will choose this TP heading block and we will choose the third style here. And for the main heading, we will choose trending news. Alright, so now we will keep it in the middle. And if we go to style, here for the main title, we will choose white color. And we will increase the font size a little bit. and we will make it bold. And for the subtitle, we are going to reduce the font size. And now this one looks much better. Along with that, let's go ahead and copy this title here because we are going to use that again. So after this row, we are going to paste this title here. And now we come back here in style and change the color of our main title. We will make it black. So now we can change the heading text as well. And now after this, let's go ahead and add a new row. And we are going to select a 2-column layout. And then we will make it full width. And let's reduce the width of the right hand side column. So maybe we can keep the ratio of 70:30. And now if we look at this design, it looks very much like our archive pages that we have created in the previous section of this video. So we are going to copy various elements from there so that we can speed up the process a little bit. So first we will copy this feature post section. So let's copy this from here. And if we come back here in our home page, we can add this block. And now after this, let's add another post listing block. And here we will go to query. We will only show 4 posts. And for the column manager, we will only choose 1 column so that it will look all one below the other. And now if we come back here in our query section, and here is an option for offset posts. Now if you look closely that we have the feature post here, but this post is getting repeated in the post list below this. So we should not show this post here so that we have one single post as a feature one and then rest of the post showing below this. So while using this post listing block, we can offset any number of posts from our grid. So let's enter 1 here. So now you see that the first post, which was a kind of a duplicate of this post, is now gone. If we also want to hide this post, all we have to do is just type in 2 and the latest 2 posts will be gone. So right now we only just need to remove 1. So we will keep it 1 and then leave rest of them as it is. And for the extra options, we can limit the title by word and I think 8 would be good enough. And now for the right hand side column, we are going to copy this social media icons here. And then we will paste it here. And after that, we are again going to copy this search box and then paste below this. After that, we will come back here and copy this heading and then paste it below this search box. And once again, we will copy this recent news section and then add it after this title. And after this, we are going to add our image. So again, we will use the TP image block and then upload our advertising image. So let's select the image from here. And for this listing block, maybe we can add a margin to the bottom. So 35 would be good enough. And let's update this and see how it looks in the front end. So this is how our home page will look like. And now at the very bottom, we are going to add another row and we will use a single column layout. And here we will use a 3-column layout with this design. So we click here. And here first we will add a heading. So we are going to choose this style. So for the main heading, we are going to type in subscribe to our newsletter and maybe a simple text for the subtitle. And we will keep the alignment to middle. And if we go in style, here we can change the main title color to dark black. And in typography, we can increase the size of the font. and maybe we can make it bold. And for the subtitle, we will reduce the size of the font. So we go to subtitle under typography. We will reduce the font size. And now after this, we are going to search for TP Mailchimp blog. So this blog will make it very easy for capturing email address for your Mailchimp account. So let's use this here. And now we can play around with all the style of form that we want to create. So we will keep it very minimal and we will just use the email address form. And here we have the email field. So we can enter any placeholder here and we can change the icon as well. If you want, you can turn on the GDPR compliance option. And after that, we have subscribe button. So here you can change the text. And in the extra options, we have group and tags option, or you can also add double opt-in. And after this, we have redirect thank you page. So if you want to add a thank you page redirection, once the email ID is captured from here. And after this, we have response message, and that will be visible just below this form. Now, in order to link this form to your Mailchimp account, we need to come back here in our backend. And if we go in the plus settings, here we click on extra options. And if we scroll down a little bit, we have Mailchimp API key as well as Mailchimp list ID. And if you are not sure where to find all these details, you can read the notes below here. And once we enter both the details here, we can now click on save. And after that, let's come back here in this form and do a little bit of styling. So let's select this main column here and we go to style and then add a background color. Alright, so now we can add some border. And border width will be 1 pixel. Border radius will be 15 pixel. And let's choose the border color, maybe a bit dark shade. And now we can go to advanced and then add a little bit of padding here. And let's update this. And this is how it looks in the front end. Maybe we can add a little bit of margin from top and bottom. So again, in the advanced section, we will add a margin of 15 pixel from the top and 15 pixel from the bottom. Let's update this. And now this one looks much better. And if we enter a sample email address and if we click on subscribe, and this is how we can easily capture email ID using this Mailchimp block and save that in our Mailchimp audience. Now let's go ahead and start designing our inner pages. Like if we click on About Us, this is how our current inner pages template looks like, which is pretty flat, nothing exciting here. And if we go on Contact Us page, and we also have nothing here. So let's go back in our WordPress backend and create our page template as well as our contact page. So once again, we will come back here in our Nexter builder. And for creating a new page template, we will click on Add New. Let's call it Page Template. And here we will select the pages. And we will select singular, and in the conditions we will select all pages, and for the preview we will add all pages, and here we will choose About Us. And then let's close this and let's start building our page template. So first we will start by adding a row. We will add a single row, make it full width. And if we go here in advanced, we will add a padding of 20 pixel from the top and 20 pixel from the bottom. And if we come back here in style, here in the background, let's choose an image here. And maybe we can choose any image right now. And for the position, we will choose center. And we will keep background repeat as no repeat. And size, we will keep cover. Alright, so now we can add a heading here and we can choose any style, and for the main heading we can remove this text, and same for the subheading. Let's remove it. And for the main title, we will choose the dynamic tag and choose post title here. So now you see it's fetching about us because we have set that about us page as a preview. So now we can go to style again and do the styling of this title. So for the color, we're going to choose white, and for the typography, we will choose 40, and font weight we will choose 600, and maybe we can turn everything to uppercase so this one looks much better. And after this we can add another row, and we will choose single column layout, and let's make it wide width. And now we will add TP post content, and from the settings this will be as single page, and for the content we will choose full post content instead of excerpt. And now let's publish this. We are not going to add any fancy shading or anything else on the inner pages. So this is the current look of our about us page. Let's refresh it and see how it looks now. And this is how it looks with our custom page template. If we come back here in contact us, so right now we don't have any content on this page, so at least we have a decent title here. So let's go ahead and edit this contact page. So we click on edit page from here, and let's start by adding a row. And for this one, first we will choose a 2-column layout, and we will make it full width. And on the left hand side, let's add stylish list, and maybe we can add address, email ID, phone number in form of this list. So for the item 0, let's add, so maybe we can add any dummy address here. And for the item next, we will add phone, and same for the third one, we will add email. And let's go ahead and update the icons here. So for the first one, instead of this, we are going to choose this building icon here. And for the next one, instead of, we will choose phone icon, something like this. And for the next one, we will choose this envelope icon. And again, if we want, we can make it horizontal, but we will keep it vertical. And now if we go in style, here we can increase the space between. I think 30 will look good enough. And for the icon, we can change the color from here. I think the size and color looks perfect. And on the right hand side, we can add a form. So we are going to use TP external form styler. Let's select that. And here we are going to select form type as contact form 7. You can install any other form plugin as listed here and then do styling for that. And in our WordPress backend, let's go ahead and first install the contact form 7 plugin. So this is the contact form 7 plugin. Let's install it now and let's activate it. And if we go in the settings, here we have a default contact form 1. So maybe we can edit this and see what are the settings available. And we are going to use this simple form. So let's save this. And now if we come back here in our contact page, let's reload this page. And here we can see our contact form 1 listed. So we can select that. And now you see our form is looking much better as compared to the default style of contact form 7. And now we can go to style and customize all the things about this form. You can change the label color, and if the outer color of this field is not as per your theme, so you can always come down here at outer field option, and here you can change the background color. So you can play around with all the options available. So I will keep it with default. And not just background color, you can add gradient and background image as well. So now we can update this page and see how it looks in the front end. So now we have a contact page with basic contact details as well as a contact form. And now let's verify our complete design in mobile as well. So here we can see for the mobile device, we have a minimal header. We have a logo on the left. We have a toggle navigation on the right. So if we click here, we can see this drawer with our navigation links. We can close this from here. And if we scroll down here, we have our trending news section. So this one is a draggable slider, which we can drag left and right. And after this, our latest news section is loading perfectly fine for the mobile as well. And then comes our sidebar. And after that, we have the subscribe box. And below this, we can see our website footer. After this, if we click on any of the category from the navigation, this is how the archive page will look like. Again, it's looking perfectly fine for the mobile. And now if we click on any of the blog posts, so this is how the design in mobile device will look like. So all the blocks in the Plus add-on family are completely mobile responsive, and if you want, you can also do some changes or tweaks to make them as responsive as you wish to have. Now just in case you want to edit anything which is specific to the mobile, so let's say we open this blog post and here you think that this title is looking very big for the mobile screen. So all you have to do is just come back in your post template. So here we are in our blog page template from Nexter Builder, and let's click on this title. And if we go in style, here if we click on typography, here you can see the font size is 45. And if you notice, there is a small icon which shows desktop. And if you mouse over on this, you can change this for tablet as well as for mobile. So if we select mobile, then we can change the font size to 20. With that, we can update this here. And if we refresh again our mobile view, this is how it looks on the mobile. So you can customize everything based on the device you want to target. So this is how easy it is to create your complete blog template using the Plus add-ons for Gutenberg. And if you want to learn more about all the Plus blocks that we have used while creating this blog, we have already created dedicated videos about almost all these blocks. You can go ahead and watch all of them on this channel, and we will put up some links in the I button above and the video description below, so you can learn from there about all these Plus blocks. So that's it for this one, and I'll see you in the next video.